All right, so what is this? What's going on?
This is 100 Hands Nitro Coffee company that I started recently with some folks, and we have a lot of fun and work our asses off and drink a lot of coffee.
Oh, that is beautiful. Wow. All right. That is very smooth. Wow.
And it works faster if you just fucking chug it. Nitro chug. I'm just kidding. I just want to see if you do it.
I can't do that.
It's too cold.
It's gonna get a brain freeze.
And the real way that you do a 100 Hands Nitro chug is you drink it through your mouth and your nostrils. So
just like cover your whole face?
Yeah,
And just
cover
like,
it, yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
And then that's the coffee's like dripping down my face.
I have no vent holes.
How do you know these guys?
A buddy of mine introduced me to Izzy, the chef here, and I like the food and I like to cook, and I asked him if I could come in and do bitch work, if he would like show me some stuff, because I'm completely self-taught as far as cooking, and so I just come in and like cook sometimes and cut shit up and learn. And,
Really?
Yeah.
How often do you do that?
Now that I'm in camp and I'm super busy with the coffee, not so much, but I've done, maybe once or twice a month.
So that's what you were doing for the last year? You were learning how to cook?
I already knew how to cook.
Refining your technique.
No, I was a little bit of that. I was dabbling in a lot of different stuff. I was doing, like a lot of different shit.
Like what?
So I've been kind of messing around here a little bit. Obviously making the coffee. The guys that I'm doing the coffee with, I actually met when I was doing some medical sales stuff.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of crazy. And it's like going into surgeries and watching people get their freaking bones all reamed out and synovial fluid flowing everywhere, and it's pretty awesome.
That sounds fun.
It was.
I feel like you wouldn't be squeamish.
I wasn't. When they hit down the center of the bone and like all the juice flies everywhere, like the blood doesn't bother me, but just that milky fatty stuff in the middle of the bone, like.
Okay.
That would turn your stomach a little bit. It was kind of boring though, actually.
Yeah.
Because it was interesting, but I had to like sit there because you didn't fucking. And like I get really, really, really bored if I don't get to move and do and like put my hands on things, and you can't do anything. You fucking sit there and mark shit on paper. It was boring, so that's not for me.
So we actually had a couple meals out in Portland last year, and that's when I realized you love coffee. But why did you I have to make my own coffee?
I mean, I've been hanging out at this roaster. I found it. It's like way tucked away. You don't find it unless you're like on a search for it. And I saw this place and I poked my head in. They're super fucking friendly, and I learned a shitload about coffee. They're like serious about coffee. They do tastings and cuppings and all kinds of like really fucking fancy shit. And she does direct trade, so she actually goes to Ethiopia and fucking Guatemala and all over the world and gets crazy diseases from mosquitoes and brings back wonderful coffee, and they roast it, and it's really good stuff. And I learned a lot about that. And then this guy that I was training under for the medical sales, who's now my partner, was kind of telling me the story is he doesn't like coffee at all, and really needed a pick me up and didn't want. He's got like toddlers and this medical sales business, and he didn't. He knows that all the energy drinks are terrible for you.
Yeah.
So we started doing cold brew and trying to do nitro cold brew. And we started talking one day while we were watching some dude get his wrist put back together. And we kind of just decided, hey, let's do this. He said he wanted to start a company, and I had the connection with the roaster and knew some stuff, and obviously know a lot of people in town, and so we started doing it. And things have been good.
Did you miss fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. Well, I was still training, and I miss it. I don't miss everything about it. I mean, there's some parts of it that suck.
Like what?
Just the nerves and everything going into a
Yeah.
fight, and I don't miss that, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
And then doing interviews.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind interviews.
Well, actually, I was gonna say that before, you never really had to be like, like right now, I feel like everybody is like talking shit on the mic constantly, and you were never really that guy, but because the way you fought spoke for you.
Uh-huh.
Why do you think that was always your style?
I don't like to write checks with my mouth that my ass can't cash, and if I just have a lot less debt in that respect, then I don't like necessarily have to live up to what my mouth fucking, I don't get in over my head.
Yeah.
But I get in over my head anyway, but I guess not in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just not me necessarily. Yeah. I'm kind of a non-confrontational person, which is strange because I like to fucking smash people.
Were you always like kind of like into blood?
Into blood?
Or you just kind of get that way when you're fighting?
The smell sometimes grosses me out.
Yeah,
Sometimes when you're in a fight, somebody's bleeding everywhere, they're
Especially
breathing.
if it's not your own blood, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes you can't really tell.
Oh.
And that's always fun. You're like, is that mine or his? Yeah, when somebody's like breathing heavy and it's like frothy and like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
I had a fight here in Albuquerque one time. That's maybe my like third, fourth, fifth fight, and I had blood like it wasn't my blood. Luckily, it was the other guy's blood, but everywhere, in between my toes, in my hair, all over I was covered in it. Actually, at that point, I was like a little bit grossed out.
Yeah.
Because I was spitting out blood and I didn't know whether it was mine or the other guy's. And that was...
Once it's in your mouth, that's like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was gross.
That's
and
the
that,
line.
Yeah.
Is this part of your post-fight plan? Like all the passion and dedication you put into fighting, like now you're going to put into this business?
Yeah, well, I think it's just me. I'll probably bring that to no matter what I do. And, whether this thing works out, whether it takes off, whether it doesn't, this is just, I'm never going to stop trying to do something and be successful. And so for now, this is a cool thing. And just, I'm along for the ride. I kind of don't, I just, I wake up every day and I try to put what I can into what it is that I'm doing. And trust that things are going to work out as long as I kind of do the right shit and work hard towards it.
How much longer do you think you're going to fight?
I don't know. I don't know. This might be a one-off deal.
Not sure.
No, we'll see. Hey, if I can get in there and get a big win, get a bonus, got some money to freaking get the coffee thing rolling and be a more substantial thing and like a source of income, this might be it. Yeah. But maybe not. I don't know. It's a hard thing. Like once you get a taste of all of it, like the adrenaline and the all of it, and including the money, the paydays. It's not an easy way to make money, but it's the best way that I know to make money.
Yeah.
And so there's that. Pays bills.
How long have you been the natural born killer? Like, how long have you been like, this is the way I want to make money, or this is the way I know how to do it? Like,
Initially, it was never about the money because there was no money in the sport.
Right.
So I was kind of like, hey, I like to do this, and it's this dream, and I didn't really have any plans. Like I was like 16, 17, 18 years old. Like it's almost a rebellious thing. Like fuck you, I'm not gonna go to school. I'm gonna go and be this fucking cage fighter guy. Mm-hmm. And it so far, I mean, it's worked out in the sense that I've been able to make money doing it, and so far I've been able to support a family. And so that's cool.
You're like, all right, let's keep going with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of I bought the ticket to this ride a long time ago, and it hasn't quite stopped yet. And you know, sometimes even if you want to get off a ride, you may be done with it, but it might not be done with you. And so that's kind of I've been all in on this fighting deal for a long time, and it's kind of hard to back off once you've put so much of your time and effort, and that's all I've done for my whole adult life.
Yeah.
And even before then.
Yeah.
So
16 on, you've been in this. So
pretty much without a real exit plan, and which is, I mean, hey, it's kind of like an army landing their ships on a fucking foreign shore and then burning them all.
Yeah.
There's no turning back.
Yeah.
It's and that's kind of how it's been for me. I didn't have an exit plan, so I had to fucking be successful at this.
Yeah.
And to good or bad, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
It's
not a good way to go about life.
I mean, but hey, I get to fight. I love to train. I'm excited to be back fighting again. I'm excited to be back training again. I'm really, really enjoying the process of getting ready for this fight.
Yeah.
And doing what I love. I still love to do this thing, and I'm still learning. I'm still progressing as a fighter, and having a hell of a lot of fun doing it.
Now you have to tell me how, if I'm in Albuquerque and I want 100 Hands coffee, how do I get it?
So we have a bunch of different locations. We're at Epiphany Coffee, your Green Jeans. We're at the shop here, where we're at now. We're going to be at the 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Where else are we? Down at Jackson's, actually at the gym. And if you come and pay Izzy like $45, he'll let you wheeze the juice straight off of the tap. Do a nitro coffee keg stand.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you do that.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll get super productive today.
All right. Thanks, man. Potatoes are super good.